Hey ho, sing hey ho, to the green holly. Most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hey ho, the holly. This life is most jolly.
Hello, everybody. Sorry about the late start, but we are back for another round of Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge and performing random Shakespeare scenes and monologues for you guys, chosen by the wheel. And the random order chosen in advance. Maggie is going to be our first monologue, and then Henry will be on deck. Get the wheel up. We're going to spin for Maggie. So here is the Wheel of Shakespeare, which we will spin for Maggie. Technical issues here. There we go. There we go. Okay. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I think we got it squared away now. So spinning the wheel for Maggie's monologue, and she's going to do Constance. Who fills the room up with my absent child?
1, 3, 4. Constance. Oh, okay, that's a great one. Constance. 3, 4.
So whenever you're ready.
Well, there are several. I guess I'll.
It's the one that begins. Grief fills the room with my absent child.
Oh, okay. Yes. Alrighty. I have it. Grief fills the room of my absent child. Lies in his bed, walks up and down with me, puts on his pretty looks, repeats his words, remembers me of all his gracious parts, stuffs out his vacant garments with his form. Then have I reason to be fond of grief? Fare you well. Had you such a loss as I could give better comfort than you do. I will not keep this form upon my head when there is so much disorder in my wit. Oh Lord, my boy, my Arthur, my fair son, my life, my joy, my food, my all the world, my widow comfort, my sorrow's cure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maggie. That was a short one, but you still nailed it. Okay, it is Henry's turn, and then mine. And I'm on deck after Henry does. King Henry upon the king. Act 4, Scene 1. So whenever you're ready, Henry, go ahead.
What line is it? Was Henry V 4-1? No. 4-1, is that right?
Yes, toward the end of the scene.
is it? Oh, here we are. Right. Oh, I did this recently. Upon the king, let us our lives, our souls, our debts, our careful wives, our children and our sins lay on the king. We must bear all. O hard condition, twin born with greatness, subject to the breath of every fool, whose sense no more can feel but his own wringing. What infinite heart's ease must kings neglect, that private men enjoy? And what have kings that privates have not too, save ceremony, save general ceremony? And what art thou, thou idle ceremony? What kind of God art thou that sufferest more of mortal griefs than do thy worshippers? What are thy rents? What are thy comings in? O ceremony, show me but thy worth. What is thy soul of adoration? Art thou aught else but place, degree, and form, creating awe and fear in other men? Wherein art thou less happy being feared than they in fearing? What drinkest thou oft, since of homage sweet but poisoned flattery? Oh, be sick, great greatness, and bid thy ceremony give thee cure. Thinkest thou the fiery fever will go out with titles blown from adulation? Will it give place to flexure and low bending? Canst thou, when thou command'st the beggar's knee, command the health of it? No, thou proud dream that playest so subtly with the king's repose. I am a king that find thee, and I know 'tis not the balm, the sceptre and the ball, the sword, the mace, the crown imperial, the intertissued robe of gold and pearl, the fastened title running for the king, the throne he sits on, nor the tide of pomp that beats upon the high shore of this world. No, not all these, thrice gorgeous ceremony, not all these, laid in bed majestical, can sleep so soundly as the wretched slave, who with a body filled and vacant mind gets him to rest crammed with distressful bread. Never sees horrid night, the child of hell, but like a lackey, from the rise to set, sweats in the eye of Phoebus, and all night sleeps in Elysium. Next day, after dawn, doth rise and help Hyperion to his horse, and follows so the ever-running year with profitable labour to his grave. And but for ceremony, such a wretch, winding up days with toil and nights with sleep, had the forehand and vantage of a king. The slave, a member of the country's peace, enjoys it, but in gross brain little wots what watch the king keeps to maintain the peace, whose hours a peasant best advantages. And the scene?
Okay, thank you, Henry. So it is my turn now, and then Bill is on deck, and then I think part of it, having missed last week, and then I sent the links out kind of late last night. My fault that we only have 4 people here. If everyone's cool with that, I say let's before we spin for scenes, let's all do 2 monologues. Let's do 2 rounds of that because I think we have time to each do 2. So my monologue, my first monologue, is supposing everyone agrees with me that let's do 2 each. It'll be Jupiter, the end of Cymbeline. No more you petty. I've seen it before. Okay. No more, you petty spirits of region low, offend our hearing. Hush! How dare you ghosts accuse the thunderer, whose bolt you know, sky planted, batters all rebelling coasts? Poor shadows of Elysium, hence and rest upon your never-withering banks of flowers. Be not with mortal accidents oppressed. No care of yours it is. You know 'tis ours. Whom best I love I cross, to make my gift the more delayed. Delighted, be content. Your low-laid son our Godhead will uplift. His comforts thrive, his trials well are spent. Our jovial star reigned at his birth, and in our temple was he married. Rise and fade. He shall be lord of Lady Imogen, and happier much by his affliction made. This tablet upon his breast, wherein our pleasure his full fortune doth confine. And so away, no further with your din express impatience, lest you stir up mine. Mount, eagle, to my palace crystalline. All right, Bill, you're up, and then we'll go back to Maggie for another round of monologues before we spin for scenes. So Bill's monologue is going to be... Pamela, not so, my lord. So, Act 1, Scene 1 of Titus Andronicus. I believe that's toward the very end of a very long scene.
Okay.
And begins, not so, my lord. So whenever you're ready, go.
Not so, my lord. The gods of Rome forfend I should be author to dishonor you. But on mine honor dare I undertake, for good Lord Titus's innocence in all, whose fury not dissembled speaks his griefs. Then at my suit look graciously on him, lose not so subtle a friend on vain suppose, nor with sour looks afflict his gentle heart. Be won at last. Dissemble all your griefs and discontents. You are but newly planted in your throne. Lest then the people and patricians too, upon a lusty survey, take Titus's part, and so supplant you for ingratitude, which Rome reputes to be a heinous sin. Yield at entreats, and let me alone. I'll find a day to massacre them all, and raise their faction and their family, the cruel father and his traitorous sons, to whom I sued for my dear son's life, and make them know what 'tis to let a queen kneel in the streets and beg for grace in vain. Come, come, sweet emperor, come, Andronicus, take up this good old man, and cheer the heart that dies in tempest of thy angry frown. See.
Okay, thank you, Bill. All right, back to Maggie for her second monologue. She is going to do... Clarence's Dream, Richard III, Act 1, Scene 4. So,
Yeah.
put the banner for you.
One scene 4 in the tower. I think, yeah, there's 2 parts.
I
Like,
believe that's
can I combine them?
it's a long thing, and it's briefly interrupted by one of the jailers, I believe, and you're free to cut that out to just
Okay.
come back
All right.
into one longer one.
It's all right. I will. It's actually a couple of them, but I think I've seen it done with everything, so I'll blend it. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me just move my text over a little bit. Methoughts that I had broken from the tower and was embarked to cross to Burgundy, and in my company my brother Gloucester, who from my cabin tempted me to walk upon the hatches. Thence we looked toward England and sighted up 1,000 fearful times during the wars of York and Lancaster they had befallen us. As we paced along upon the giddy footing of the hatches, methought that Gloucester stumbled, and in falling struck me, that thought to stay him overboard into the tumbling billows of the main. Lord, Lord, methought, what pain it was to drown. What dreadful noise of waters in my ears, what ugly sights of death within mine eyes. Methought I saw 1,000 fearful wrecks, 10,000 men that fishes gnawed upon, wedges of gold, great anchors, heaps of pearls, inestimable stones, unvalued jewels, all scattered in the bottom of the sea. Some lay in the dead men's skulls, and in those holes where eyes did once inhabit, there were crept, as 'twere in scorn of eyes, reflecting gems, which hewed the slimy bottom of deep and mocked dead bones that lay scattered by. Often I did strive to yield the ghost, but still the envious flood kept in my soul and would not let it forth to seek the empty, vast, and wandering air, but smothered it within my panting bulk, which almost burst to belch and sea. Oh no, my dream was lengthened after life. Oh, then began the tempest to my soul, who passed, methought, the melancholy flood with that grim ferryman which poets write of, unto the kingdom of perpetual night. The first that there did greet my stranger soul was my great father-in-law, renowned Warwick, who cried aloud, what scourge for perjury call this dark monarchy afford false Clarence? And so he vanished, and then came wandering by a shadow like an angel with bright hair dabbled in blood. And he squeaked out aloud, Clarence is come, false, fleeting, perjured Clarence that stabbed me in the field of Tewkesbury. Seize on, furies, take him to your torments. With that, methought's a legion of foul fiends environed me about and howled in mine ears such hideous cries that with the very noise I trembling waked, and for a season after could not believe but that I was in hell. Such terrible impression made the dream. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Maggie. So it is now Henry's turn to do his second monologue, and he's going to do... the chorus, very beginning of Henry V. You're stuck on that one play today, Henry.
Yes, that same Henry.
Different character, but same play.
Same name.
Okay, so whenever you're ready.
Ooh. Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention, a kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene. Then should the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars, and at his heels, leashed in like hounds, should famine, sword, and fire crouch for employment. But pardon, and gentles all, the flat, unraised spirits that have dared on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object. Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France? Or may we cram within this wooden O the very casques that did affright the air at Agincourt? Oh, pardon, since a crooked figure may attest in little place 1,000,000. And let us, ciphers to this great account, on your imaginary forces work. Suppose within the girdle of these walls are now confined 2 mighty monarchies, whose high upreared and abutting fronts the perilous narrow ocean parts asunder. Piece out our imperfections with your thoughts. Into 1,000 parts divide one man, and make imaginary puissance. Think, when we talk of horses, that you see them printing their proud hooves in the receiving earth. For 'tis your thoughts that now must deck our kings, carry them here and there, jumping o'er times, turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass. For the which supply, admit me chorus to this history, who prologue-like your humble patience pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge our play.
Okay, great. Thank you, Henry. So my second monologue will be Oh, blessed be Jesus. This name top. I'm very unfamiliar with this play completely. Oh, blessed. Oh, blessed bleeding sun, draw from the earth rotten humidity, blow thy sister's orb, infect the air. Twinned brothered of one womb, whose procreation, residence, and birth scarce is divident, touch them with several fortunes. The great scorns the lesser, not nature, to whom all sores lay siege, and bear great fortune. By contempt of nature, raise me this beggar, and deny it that lord. The senator shall bear contempt hereditary, beggar native honor. It is the pasture lards with rother sides, the want that makes him lean. Dares, who dares in purity of manhood stand upright and say this man's a flatterer? If one be, so are they all, for every rise of fortune is smoothed by that below. The learned pate ducks to the golden fool. All is oblique. There's nothing level in our cursed natures but direct villainy. Therefore be abhorred all feasts, societies, and throngs of men. Semblance, yes, himself, Timon disdains. Destruction fang mankind, earth yield me roots. Who seeks for better of thee, sauces palate with thy most operant poison? What is here? Gold? Yellow, glittering, precious gold? O gods, I am no vile odorist. Roots, you clear heavens. Thus much of this will make black white, foul fair, wrong right, base noble, old young, coward valiant. Ha! You gods! Why this? What this, you gods? Why this will lug your priests and servants from your sides, pluck stout men's pillows from below their heads. This yellow slave will knit and break religions, bless the accursed, make the whore leprosy adored, place thieves and give them title, knee and approbation with senators on the bench. This is it. makes the rapined widow wed again. She whom the spittle house and ulcerous sores would cast the gorge at, disembalms and spices to the April day again. Come, damned earth, thou common whore of mankind, that putst odds among the rout of nations, I will make thee do thy right nature. Ha! A drum, thou art quick, but yet I'll bury thee. Out go, strong thief, when gouty keepers of thee cannot stand. Nay, stay, thou art for earnest. Okay, so Bill, you're up. One more monologue from Bill, and then we're going to spin for scenes. Okay, so Bill's going to do... Ford, Master Ford with a damned Epicurean mask. I believe that's toward the end of the scene, Act 2, Scene 2.
Okay.
Act 2, Scene 2 toward the end. What a damned Epicurean rascal. So whenever you're ready.
Oh, sorry, I had the wrong scene. Okay. Okay, finally found it. What a damned Epicurean rascal is this? My heart is ready to crack with impatience. Who says this is improvident jealousy? My wife hath sent to him. The hour is fixed, the match is made. Would any man have thought this? See the hell of having a false woman. See the hell of having a false woman. My bed shall be abused, my coffers ransacked, my reputation gnawn at. And I shall not only receive this villainous wrong, but stand under the adoption of abominable terms. And by him that does me this wrong. Terms, names. Manon sounds well. Lucifer, well. Barbizon, well. Yet they are devil's additions, the names of fiends. But cuckold, whittle, cuckold, the devil himself hath not such a name. Page is an ass, a secure ass. He will trust his wife. He will not be jealous. I will rather trust a Fleming with my butter, Parson Hugh the Welshman with my cheese, an Irishman with aquavita bottle, or a thief to walk my ambling gelding, than my wife with herself. Then she plots, then she ruminates, then she devises, and what they think in their hearts they may effect, they will break their hearts, but they will effect. God be praised for my jealousy. 11 o'clock the hour, I will prevent this. Detect my wife and be revenged on Falstaff and laugh at Page. I will about it. Better 3 hours too soon. then a minute too late. Fie, 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 cockle, cockle, cockle. Scene.
Okay, nice job. So good job, everybody, with the monologues today. Now let's see what, let's spin for some scenes to give roles for the four of us. So what is the wheel going to give us here? First we have Hamlet and Gertrude. Great scene. I've done that before. So Act 3, Scene 4. And Antony and Cleopatra, Darius and Enobarbus. I remember I'm drawing a blank on who Scaurus is. I know Enobarbus was Antony's right-hand man in his army. So those are four good roles for the four of us. So again, the roles to choose from: Hamlet, Gertrude, Scaurus, or Enobarbus. The Hamlet scene and the Antony and Cleopatra scene. So Maggie, what would you like?
Oh, I'm going to have to take Hamlet.
Okay.
Not often I get that chance. So 3, 4. All right.
Great. So, and then Henry, what would you like?
I'll go for Gertrude.
Okay. So we'll have gender swap with that role.
I got to get my charger.
Okay, good. That'll be interesting to watch the two of you do that one. I'll take Enobarbus, and that leaves Bill to be Scaurus. So so Bill and I are going to do Act 3, Scene 10 of Antony and Cleopatra after Maggie and Henry do Hamlet and Gertrude. We'll create the banner for that.
Got it, Henry?
Okay, so whenever you two are ready.
Yes, there's a ghost comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'm glad you asked.
Does the ghost say anything?
He does say something. I remember the way we did this. When the last time this came up on the wheel a year or two ago, I did it well. I really had fun. I did it with Sheila. I remember I was Hamlet, and what we decided to do is we just said, Hamlet should acknowledge the ghost, but we don't. And it's interesting. It'll be like it makes it spooky. It'll be like the audience sees what Gertrude sees. Hamlet talking to something that isn't there. So
Mark, your sound is going in and out, so I'm not sure what you're saying. And also Polonius says something. Are you going to say his part?
Yeah, you can. No, you can just ignore Polonius and ignore the ghost, because I think it'll be more. It's more interesting when we basically we see Hamlet looking like a crazy person talking to something that isn't there, which is what Gertrude sees. So just ignore the lines now, because he just says one little, Polonius will say that one thing behind it. You can react to it. You don't need to hear it. So
all right. I'm starting with now, Mother, what's the matter? Are you ready, Henry? I'm not looking at you. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Oh, come, and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help! Help! Oh!
How now, a rat? Dead for a ducat! Dead!
Ah! Ooh.
I couldn't hear you, so, okay. Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what hast thou done?
Oh, nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, it was my word. Ah, thou wretched, rash, and true. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou findest to be too busy is some danger. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down and let me wring your heart. For so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom have not brazed it so that it is proof and bulwark against sense.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, the rose from the fair forehead of innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dicers' oaths. Oh, such a deed is from the body of contraction, plucks the very soul, and
Okay, Maggie just froze. I hope.
Maggie first, yeah.
Weird. Okay. Why don't we come back to this one? We'll do, and Henry, while you're here, I noticed the Scaris and the Enobarbus and Scaris scene, me and Bill. There's a third character, Canidius, and he just comes in briefly. If you could, I'll add you to the street. Could you be the one, Henry, that comes in and does that? It's Act 3, Scene 2 of Antony and Cleopatra. We'll do that, and hopefully while we're doing that, Maggie will fix whatever issue she had, and we can come back to the Hamlet and Gertrude scene. Are the two of you both ready to go with this one, or?
I apparently went to the wrong page. Act 3, Scene 2?
Act 3, Scene 10. There's a lot of stuff.
I was there, okay. All right.
So, Henry, are you okay with doing the Canidius, the role that comes in at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take you out, and I'll just add you back in when it's time. Actually, that starts with just me on stage. I'll add Bill in, and then I'll edit. Not all not. I can behold no longer. The Antoniad, the Egyptian admiral, with all their 60, fly and turn the rudder. To see it, mine eyes are blasted. I'm sorry, I took. Let's try that again. Let's go back. I can make your entrance look better. Okay. Not all not. I can behold no longer. The Antoniad, the Egyptian admiral, with all their 60, fly and turn the rudder. To see it, mine eyes are blasted.
Gods and goddesses, all the whole synod of them.
What's thy passion?
The greater cantle of the world is lost with very ignorance. We have kissed away kingdoms and provinces.
How appears this fight?
On our side, like a token pestilence where death is sure. Yon ribalded nag of Egypt, whom leprosy overtake, in the midst of the fight, when vantage like a pair of twins appeared, both as the same, or rather ours the elder, the breeze upon her, like a cow in June, hoists sail and flies.
That I beheld. Mine eyes did sicken at the sight, and could not endure a further view.
She once being loosed, the noble ruin of her magic, Anthony, claps on his sea wing, and, like a doting mallard, leaving the fight in height, flies after her. I never saw an action of such shame, experience, manhood, honor, ne'er before did violate show itself.
Alack! Alack!
Our fortune on the sea is out of breath and sinks most lamentably. Had our general been what he knew himself, it had gone well. Oh, he has given example of our flight most grossly by his own.
Are you thereabouts? Why then, good night indeed.
Toward Peloponnesus they fled.
'Tis easy to do. 'Tis easy to't, and there will I attend what further comes.
To Caesar will I render my legions and my horses. 6 kings already show me the way of yielding.
I'll yet follow. Wounded chance of Antony, though my reason sits in the wind against me. Okay. So let's see if Maggie's back. I hope she's fixed. Hi, Maggie. You fixed?
Hi, I'm
hope
sorry.
you fixed the.
Can you see me?
Yeah. So
yeah,
if you
I'm
wanna
on my
start,
phone.
Okay. If you'd like
I
to
hope
start
it-
from where you left off, or if you want to
Yeah,
start
look
all
where-
over again.
Look here upon the picture. How's that?
Okay. So whatever you guys are comfortable with, go ahead.
Where are we going from?
Gertrude had just said, is saying, me, what act? I had said that you were going to be sick, thought sick at the act. I had said that, and then it was going to be you.
Okay. So I'll go from me.
Yes, please.
Me, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of 2 brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow, Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill, a combination and a form indeed where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Ha! Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. For at your age, the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Sense, sure you have, else you could not have motion. But sure that sense is apoplexed. For madness would not err, nor sense to ecstasy was ne'er so enthralled, but it reserved some quantity of choice to serve in such a difference. What devil was't that thus hath cozened you at the hoodman blind? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sans all, or but a sickly part of one's true sense could not so mope. Oh, shame, where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine in a matron's bones, to flaming youth let virtue be as wax and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the charge, since frost itself is as actively doth burn and reason panders will.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tinct.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an unseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in mine ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part of the tithe of your precedent lord, a vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire and the rule, that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
No more.
A king of shreds and patches, save me and hover me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come your tardy son to chide, that lapsed in time and passion let go by the important act of your dread command? Oh, say, how is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is't with you, that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Forth at your eyes and spirits wildly peep, and as the sleeping soldiers in the alarm of your bedded hairs like life in excrement start up and stand on end. O gentle sun, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him, on him! Look you how pale he glares. His form and cause conjoined, preaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance for blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you there. Look how it steals away. My father in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes even now, out at the portal.
Oh, this is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy? My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reword, which madness would gamble from. Mother, for the love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor. Forgive me this, my virtue, for in the fatness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg, yea, curb and woo for leave to do him good.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night, but go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. That monster custom, who all sense doth eat of habits evil, is angel yet in this, that to the use of actions fair and good, he likewise gives a frock or livery that aptly is put on. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence. The next, more easy, for use almost can change the stamp of nature, and either master the devil or throw him out with wondrous potency. Once more, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me, for I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad begins, and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this by no means that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheeks, call you his mouse, and let him for a pair of reechy kisses, or patting in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know. For who that's but a queen, fair, sober, wise, would from a paddock, from a bat, a jib, such dear concernings hide? Who would do so? No, in despite of sense and secrecy, unpeg the basket on the house's top. Let the birds fly, and like the famous ape, to try conclusions in the basket, creep and break your own neck down.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England. You know that?
Alack, I had forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
There's letters sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders fanged, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work, for 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard, and it shall go hard, but I will delve 1 yard below their minds and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis most sweet when in one line 2 crafts directly meet. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Mother, good night. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, peating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother. I say Gertrude gets another, Henry gets another monologue.
Okay. Great job today, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And everyone else, we'll see you the same time next week for the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. See you next week. Bye now, everybody.